Hello, today we're going to be in chapters 4, 5, and 6 of Exodus. Jumping right in, chapter 4 is a chapter where God is giving Moses the tools that he's going to use when he presents his case before Pharaoh. And he gives him three pretty significant signs. His rod can be cast down, or staff can be cast down, turns into a snake. Moses picks it back up and it's a rod again. He can put his hand into his coat, pulls it out and it's leprous, puts it back in and it is clean again. And then the third one, he turns the water, basically the Nile, into blood. So those are three signs. Very interesting section in this chapter. God has told Moses to explain to Pharaoh that Israel is his firstborn son. We're going to start seeing over and over again, more so. We've already seen it in Jacob and Esau. We've seen it in the taking away of the privilege of the firstborn from Reuben at Jacob's death, things like that. This idea of firstborn is important. And so God says, Israel's my firstborn, and you're going to let him go. And if you don't let him go, then I'm going to take your firstborn, clearly foreshadowing the 10th the 10th plague that's going to occur. And then there's this little aside that Moses and his wife Zipporah and their sons have stopped on the road on the way to Egypt, and they're spending the night, and God comes down. He wants to kill Moses, and apparently it was so obvious or apparent that Moses was stricken, and Zipporah realizes that something's wrong, and she also realizes apparently she did not allow their second son to be circumcised. And so she goes and she takes a flint knife and she circumcises the second son, and she takes that bloody foreskin and lays it at Moses' feet. And her comment is, I have purchased back the bridegroom. In other words, with blood. So she's saying it is a blood sacrifice that's necessary to purchase the life of Moses back. Well, we're clearly going to see that over and over again, this idea of a blood sacrifice, ultimately culminating in Jesus Christ himself being the blood sacrifice for us. So that's chapter 4. When we get to chapter 5, Moses and Aaron have gone in to see Pharaoh. They've asked him to let the people go. They haven't done anything overly miraculous at this point in time, but Pharaoh's response is real simple. He says, well, if they've got so much extra time that they can think about going off and worshiping this God who I have no knowledge of, then why don't we just increase their workload? I'm not going to provide them with the straw anymore. So he tells his taskmasters to tell them, you get your own straw, but oh, by the way, the amount of bricks that you have to produce has not changed. And so that's basically what's going on in chapter 5. What happens then is that the people grumble to the leaders go back to Moses and Aaron and say, you're not helping us, something's not working here, you're making our life harder, not better. Moses then complains to God about that. He says, you said you're going to make their life better, their life is just getting worse. Then God explains to him that he's restating the same promise he made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And he's saying to them that he explains to Moses and Aaron, here's what you need to tell to the Israelite leaders so that they will understand what God's going to be doing. Then it gives the genealogy of Moses and Aaron, and then it ends with Moses and Aaron getting ready to go in to see Pharaoh. So we're getting ready to come in kind of in a big way into the 10 plagues after we get through these chapters. So pay attention. Hope you enjoy, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Thank you very much. God bless.